My name is John Satekaienton Diabo, and I am the head coach of Kahnawake CrossFit. Sometimes, instead of doing better, what bullies will try to do is sabotage, and it's more of fear that this person is going to get something that I want. So I'm going to make them feel bad about what they're doing so that they don't get it and they don't have the confidence to get it. As much as we think that the bully is the strongest person, if we don't educate ourselves, we'd realize that because the bully chooses not to improve themselves, that they're very limited at their potential. So it's, it doesn't really work in the end per se. Kids are come in all different sizes, and usually the bully for kids is like the bigger kid. It's so funny because we can literally see it. And one thing that I try to teach the kids who are stronger is say, you have a responsibility to protect these other kids, and you have a responsibility to be strong for these other kids. And what's good about this is that they feel like they're important still. I think that's the one thing that I try to see both sides, and that's the one thing that bullies or our anti-bullying seems to forget sometimes, is that the bullies have issues too. I think that's what I would say is a bully is somebody who's asking for help, And sometimes we see the victim, the person who's being bullied, as the person that needs help, but the one who initiates, the one who does something, clearly there's something going on, Short term, I think it has a lot of confusion. If a child is being bullied in their sports, they don't really understand what's happening. Long term, it could have either a positive effect if they learn about the potential, like the reason why a bully is being a bully, and maybe they could actually understand why people act in that way, or they never learned, and it could have a negative effect on their entire life if they never really understand that. So with bullying comes a lot of education. When you see athletes, especially young athletes, we don't really know who they are yet. And some people take a little bit longer. Some people, we see it right away. Like somebody who's very talented, they display right away that they have talent. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that coaches would make is to assume that that's the one to focus on. With this being said, how do you do that? There's tools, and the tools are being able to identify everybody's little achievements. It's easy to see the big things, but sometimes we ignore the small achievements. And achievements are achievements. Just because we have somebody who won a championship doesn't mean that that's the only achievement. In my gym, some people's achievements could be, I finally picked up a weight. But some people would neglect that achievement, and what ends up happening is that person feels like it's not good enough. So it's not really something that I believe in. I think that every achievement should be celebrated, and that's the way that I would go with it. So I guess that would be my advice to coaches, is make sure that you're able to identify every achievement that all the kids make, as well as that most good things don't come right away, and you have to be a little bit patient. Short-term gratification versus the delayed gratification rule,
As coaches, fans, players, and community members, we have the power to change the culture of our sports environment by promoting safety, respect, and accountability.
Brought to you by the Kahnawake Sports and Recreation Unit and KSCS. Aya Dawatste, Nikah Nigunurio.